President Trump has repeatedly said the U.S. strikes, quote, completely and totally obliterated Tehran's nuclear program.
Time now to exchange our conversation with Joe Cirincione. He's the Vice Chair of the Center for International Policy Board of Directors. Joe, thank you so much for being with us. So we heard Grossi there saying that there has been significant damage, but not total damage. I mean, at what point will we get an absolute sort of clear picture about the level of damage that has been inflicted on Iran's nuclear complex? And how much should we actually trust the messaging coming out of the White House right now about it?
Well, I think we'll get a clear picture from the IAEA and some from foreign European intelligence services. The IAEA, of course, knows the most about this program. They're the ones who actually have inspectors on the ground and have been going to these sites. I would say the information from the White House cannot be trusted. I mean, we're all used to Donald Trump lying about many things, his big bad bill, for example, or deportations. But somehow we don't really factor it in when it comes to big international affairs. We just still can't get used to the idea that the president might not be telling us the truth, even though we had a similar experience in the lead up to the 2003 Iraq War. In this case, they're just making things up. The president announced seconds after the strikes were conducted that he had totally obliterated the program. We know that's not true. Most independent experts agree with the Director General Grossi. Damaged, certainly. Set it back, yes. But many, maybe most of the sites weren't even hit. You can't bomb away the knowledge of how to enrich uranium or to build a weapon. It would take Iran months, perhaps a few years to rebuild. And finally, they don't really have to rebuild the whole complex. As long as they still have that stockpile of enriched uranium gas and a handful of centrifuges, a few hundred would do, they can feed that gas back into those centrifuges and produce the core of a bomb within 5 or 10 days, and many bombs over weeks further than that. So I think we'll know more independently about the bomb damage in the next couple of weeks, but I wouldn't count on getting a straight story from the White House.
So, Joe, let me just push back a little bit, because hyperbole aside, I don't think anyone other than President Trump has used the term obliterated. Even the IDF chief of staff said that in public assessments now, he stated that Iran's nuclear program and its missile capabilities, which we should also not forget, that is another target that was severely damaged and set back, was their ballistic facilities and program. He said that was significantly damaged. And in terms of whether or not Iran would start to recalibrate and start to rebuild their nuclear program, I don't think anyone's naive enough to think that they wouldn't want to. Even the former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett over the weekend said that it's clear that they will want to start to renew. And he went on to say the key is to prevent them from doing just that. So there's also been reporting that Mossad has been on the ground in Iran for some 15 years looking for exactly these specific sites to target and really getting more familiar and experts, I guess, with the nuclear program there. Couldn't you say that a deterrent, in fact, has been placed and set, that for the first time the United States and Israel have shown that they will follow through on their threats kinetically, if need be, if they see Iran start to recalibrate and start to rebuild their nuclear program?
Certainly, Iran's leaders have to take into account the threat of future strikes. The question is, how much of an appetite does President Trump have for that? Remember, there is a cost to this. Nobody's talked about how much this cost. I roughly guess it cost about $2 billion for Israel and U.S. to do these strikes, and the U.S. will almost certainly reimburse Israel for the cost of this. Did they destroy $2 billion worth of equipment? It's not clear. Did they hit most of the sites? That's not clear either. Did they get the underground sites? We don't know yet. So yes, clearly a deterrent, but they've also probably increased the leverage of the hardline factions in Iran, who have long wanted Iran to build a bomb. They want to go ahead. And these strikes basically tell the Iranian leadership, we have to build the only weapon that can stop the U.S. and Iran from attacking us again. There's this old Israeli strategy of mowing the lawn. You hit once, the enemy reconstitutes, you hit him again. I'm not sure that's going to work with Iran. This is not a popular war among the American people. Our allies in the Gulf do not want us to be doing these strikes. They want stability. I don't think this is a winning hand. No regime in history has ever been removed by a bombing campaign, I don't expect Iran to be the first.